Now we're cooking. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They're hot as can be. Winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, the beat goes on, doesn't it? A perfect 10-0 to start the campaign.
And it's a good locker room to be in, too. Guys don't show up on game day hoping to win. They expect to win. And so far, they've yet to have a letdown. Let's go, folks.
So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
It's hard to be frustrated when you throw for nearly 400 yards, but I know he wanted to break that barrier. I think he got the pain eased a little bit when they named him NFC Offensive Player of the Week, though.
Yeah, when you get the award, you know you had the best week in the conference, you'll let it slide. But hey, that number well within his range. You know he's got the arm to do it in this one. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Here's Rodgers. Going to throw again. Open man is Darius Felton. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
You ready? 50. I got one. Two times. Everyone's got four.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 17 carries, 104 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
To throw on second down. Carmichael setting up the screen for Cook. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Looking to throw. Carmichael. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Ready, set. In your face.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself the best chance to win.
So if they're up around 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy is covering you. He's usually pretty good, too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Looking deep for Adams. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. On 2nd down now, it's Clayton. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Making the catch is Sternberger. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 41-yard line.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run on 1st down. Cook trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 24-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. That 7-0 lead in there is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, check 26. Move.
They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On play action, Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10 from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Down and over. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Down.
Throwing on 1st down. Carmichael. Roberts has it. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down line. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Back to throw. Carmichael. That'll be complete to Cook. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down. They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Rodgers now to throw. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers, he's got this complete to Ryan Switzer. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
We gotta get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. We're in the 2nd quarter. They got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later.
He's got a man complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. And who we got? Defense.
From the gun, Carmichael. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. On 1st and 10, Carmichael. His throw caught at about the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this off.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. 2nd and 10. Looking downfield for Godwin. This is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Chris Godwin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after try forthcoming. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. And thankfully, the offense able to recover, but the extra point attempt foiled. So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They trail offense. First time to touch it. Oh, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them pass it, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback in the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here.
Ready. 70, Indy. Now.
Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Cook. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
8-3.
On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. On 4th down, Carmichael. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Tevin Coleman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because
and he's into the clear. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, 77 yards, and the Packers get a score closer. Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, just a deadly combination, and we see why right there.
And we've seen it develop over the years, because when Davante Adams first joined the Packers, he had to earn the trust of the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. He has it in a big way now. He'll throw it to him long, he'll throw it to him short, but he always expects a big play to result.
Adams, former second-round pick out of Fresno State, plays like a first-round pick in the NFL. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
12 yards there. First down, Vikings. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
And that's one of the reasons we like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the gun on 3rd down, Carmichael. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Rodgers to throw. It's caught here by Adams. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. The reception good for 7. It's third down. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And Wilson has it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
We got this.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Come on. You better bring it.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Caught. It's Wilson. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Back now at Lambeau. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance where they took control. Game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Looking to throw. Carmichael. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Operating from the gun, Carmichael. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A 1st down and then some. 36 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
18 Gators. Get it.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Barkley. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tevin Coleman. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on. What a great drive that was. A long drive, sustained, well executed.
I love what we're seeing out of him here in year 2, right? This young quarterback continues to evolve and grow. He's really the adage right now that John Wooden, the famous basketball coach, used to say. Be quick, but don't hurry. You can see that everything is happening for him, but he's not taking it at a pace that he can't sustain.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Rodgers. Able to find Switzer. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Rodgers again under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Ben Gideon gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead drops from 34 down to 27. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. The outcome of this one, Well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The previous play is under review.
Touchdown, Minnesota.
After review of the play,
so the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Back to throw. Carmichael. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. To the tight end and complete. It's Sternberger over the middle. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take. The yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10. One final try now for Rodgers. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.